So you wish to learn more? Well then, today I will be teaching you the basics of how to play Pokemon effectively. I will be going over 5 main points, that being typing, evolution, stats, moves, and abilities, along with some other side information. First, let's start with typings. There are 18 different types of Pokemon. They are some Pokemon can also have a secondary typing instead of just one. Now for the whole point of Pokemon having typings. Every type has a strength and a weakness, which is shown nicely in this type chart. I know, it looks very confusing, but we'll go through it slowly. The way this chart is shown is that the attacking type is on the left and the defending type is on the top. So if grass were to attack fire, it would be 50% reduced, but if it attacked water, the damage would be doubled. This applies to the rest of the typings, all of them having their own strengths and weaknesses. Going back to it, some Pokemon have 2 types, meaning the type chart gets combined. Let's look at Magnemite. It's an electric steel type. So looking at the chart, electric is weak to just ground, and steel is weak to fire, fighting, and ground. Since both electric and steel are weak to ground, if Magnemite were to be hit with a ground attack, it would be quadruple effective, which is a lot of damage. On the other hand, the steel type is a defensive typing, so it has loads of resistances. However, electric also resists flying and steel, meaning if Magnemite were to be hit by them, it would be double resisted and would do barely any damage. There's also a few typings that have immunities, like normal and fighting not being able to damage ghost, and electric doing nothing to ground, along with a few more. A good suggestion would be to have this pulled up while playing, to help you start learning the type matchups. Another way Pokemon work is that while battling, they receive XP, which will level them up, and once they gain enough XP, they will evolve. This allows them to potentially change types, increase their stats, and learn new moves. So let's talk more in depth about those. For the first detail we will be looking at, Pokemon have 6 stats, that being HP, attack, defense, special defense, and speed. HP relates to how much damage they can receive before fainting. Attack and special attack relates to the damage modifier it will cause. Defense and special defense relates to the modifier it will resist damage. And speed determines which Pokemon moves first. However, with attack, it only checks the defensive stat, and special attack only checks the special defensive stat. When caught, Pokemon also have a randomized nature given to it, which boosts one stat by 10%, but also decreases another. Since there are over 1,000 Pokemon, countless amount of moves exist, so we will just go over basic ones. As stated in stats, there is a difference in the physical and special stat. This is because moves are categorized as either physical or special attacks. Every move shows the typing's power, if it's physical or special, the accuracy, and PP, the amount of times you can use that move. It is recommended that Pokemon that have a higher attack stat use physical moves, and ones with higher special attack use special moves for optimal damage. Same type attack bonus, otherwise known as stab, is a 1.5 times damage boost that applies to any move that shares your Pokemon's typing. So say Blaziken, a fire type, uses both fire and thunder punch. The true power for Fire Punch would be 112 because it shares the same typing, whereas Thunder Punch stays 75 base power. Status is the last type of move you can use that consists of anything that isn't damage. The main use of status moves is to apply a status condition to the opposing Pokemon or boost your own stats. There are 5 status conditions, that being Burn, Paralyze, Freeze, Poison, and Sleep. Other forms of status moves include moves that allow you to increase your 5 stats or lower the potence up to 6 stages. The final detail we will be talking about is abilities. They are special effects that every Pokemon has that can turn the tide in battle. A few examples of the many would be that some give the Pokemon an extra immunity, even though they may be weak to that type. Some abilities can negate being statused, few can bring out different weather which provides bonus effects, and some have the ability to give a status effect if hit with physical moves. And that wraps up a lot of the basics on how to start playing Pokemon. Now that you're prepared, it's time to start your own Pokemon adventure. Your journey awaits.